Hello, my June's Journey friends. It's Curly Sue, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to my storyline series, where we go over June's shenanigans chapter by chapter. Today, we're going over Volume 1, Chapter 5 in our ongoing story. To recap our last episode, June has been given a letter by Eddie on his deathbed that suggests that Harry was not Virginia's biological father. Confused, June goes into her sister Claire's bedroom looking for clues as to who this other man could be. She finds an old letter written to Claire warning her not to marry Harry. The letter isn't signed, but June assumes it to be written by Virginia's true father. Going through the old university yearbook, she then learns that Sam Watts knew Harry and Claire during college. This little nugget of information was left out by Sam during all that time they were out investigating together. Feeling quite misled, June goes to confront Sam at his office, where he completely dismisses her. Before leaving, though, June spots one of Sam's reports sitting on his desk. It's written with the same chicken scratch letters that match the chicken scratch on the letter she found from snooping in her sister Claire's bedroom. June immediately connects the dots and infers that Sam Watts was Claire's extra lover, and therefore Virginia's father. I'm guessing the red hair helped a little, too. She goes back to the weeks-old crime scene and amazingly finds two new pieces of evidence. The first was a letter from Harry to Sam that indicated that Sam had been harassing Claire and Harry, wanting to be a part of Virginia's life. By the looks of the letter, Claire and Harry were having none of that. The second piece of evidence was a lighter belonging to Sam, placing him at the scene of the crime. At this very point, June hears a scream coming from the garage. It was Mrs. Talbot, who had been violently knocked to the ground. Sam was the culprit, and he was here in the process of kidnapping Virginia at gunpoint. He's gotten away for now, but June is hot on his trail. She quickly finds out that Sam and Virginia hopped a flight to Havana, Cuba. Well, guess what? June has a pilot friend that she can call on at a moment's notice. Let's go, y'all. We're gonna get Virginia back. And so starts Volume 1, Chapter 5, Havana. Sam had fled to Cuba with Virginia, and I only knew one way to pursue, my old friend and favorite pilot, Jack Hayes. I only hoped that we'd be able to pick up Sam's trail once we arrived in Havana. Jack's hangar must be at this airport, because we're already here. June and Jack met during the war. She was a nurse, and he was a pilot. She's still a nurse, unemployed. He still flies, but now he's writing a novel. Let's find him in this hangar and hope that he's not busy. June calls out, "Jack, hello? Is anyone here?" Oh, here he is in this lawn chair, looking a little hungover. June asks him if he's had a late night, and Jack answers, yeah, I was working on my novel. June will not be fooled and tells Jack that it looks like he's been doing more drinking than writing. And Jack replies, well, probably that's how Hemingway did it. It's called liquid inspiration, duh. Well, I'm already nervous. Are we choosing this guy to be our pilot? June is a little nervous too and asks him if he's okay to fly. Jack says, oh, yeah, it's no problem. I just need to find my flight jacket. June says, do I even want to know how your flight jacket got up there? It's not clear to us where his flight jacket was, but we do see a pair of pants hanging from this wing up here. Jack says, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. June is wanting Jack to turn into a different person that is serious and responsible. She says, Jack, this is serious. My niece is in big trouble. Jack says, I've never let you down before. Come on, we're doing this. Oh, good, we got here. Now what? June asks Jack, since he's been to Havana before, does he know of any connections that could help them find Virginia? Maybe they'll know all the places where kidnappers hang out. Well, Jack can come up with one name. Now, I don't know him, but they say if anything goes on in Havana, he knows about it. His name is Julian Reyes. Julian Reyes? June thinks this name sounds familiar. Is this the same Julian Reyes that's running for mayor? Wow, I'm impressed that June knows all about the Cuban news. Turns out he is the one and the same. How do we find him? Jack says, that's tricky. A man like Julian is in high demand, which translates as, I really don't know. Well, how do you know him anyway, Jack? Jack explains that he lost a cool $100 to Julian in a game of poker. Okay, so he's a gambler. What else do you know? He owns about half a dozen hotels here in Havana, but the best of the best is the Argent. Julian typically hangs out there, hosting world leaders and movie stars. Even Al Capone was there once. Well, there's a sign for that hotel. It's just down the road. Let's go. Jack isn't confident that they're going to find him, and he's a little bit reluctant, but June offers to buy him a drink, and off we go. Well, here we are. Do you see him anywhere? Jack, once again, is Debbie Downer and says, well, June, I warned you, he's not an easy man to find. Jack's negativity is catching on, and June says, oh, I'm such a dodo. What made me think I could do this all myself? But June is not by herself, and this is a hint to Jack to stop being a naysayer, get it together, and do something useful. Jack doesn't want to see her sad. He says, no, you stay here. I'll go ask the waitstaff. We'll find this man and your niece. And off he goes. You're an amazing manipulator, June. Just as soon as Jack walks off, the bartender pushes a drink towards June. It's a pretty blue cocktail. June tells the bartender, no, you're mistaken. I didn't order this. And this well-dressed man steps out from nowhere and says, no, I did. I think you like it. June's about to get a little sassy and says, you presume a lot, Senor. Julian Reyes. Please, call me Julian. And you? Get out your manners, June. You've just hit the jackpot. Say what you want, but it really pays to be a cutie pie in this world. June Parker, a pleasure to meet you. Now, of course, Julian wants to know why such a beautiful woman is sitting all alone at his hotel bar. June tells him that the story is long and sad. And Jack was wrong. Julian's not that busy. We have time. So June proceeds to tell him that she's looking for her niece Virginia, who was kidnapped by a man claiming to be her father. So Julian asks these two, would they happen to have red hair? I guess nothing does go on in Havana without Julian knowing. June says, yes, how did you? Julian interrupts and says that he may be able to help June, but he has to do something first. Come to my home tonight. Uh-oh, sounds like Julian wants something. We can only guess what that is. And with that, Julian was gone. But before he left, he slipped a piece of paper underneath June's drink. It's an invitation to his party tonight. And Jack, who missed this entire exchange, shows back up. He reports back to June that the locals don't know anything about Julian's whereabouts, and also they won $20 off of him. Oh, Jack. He wants to know, what did you find, June? June is like, oh, nothing. Just an invitation to Julian Reyes' party tonight at his house. He knows something about Sam and Virginia, and he thinks he can help us. Well, Jack is impressed. At the party, he tells June that he still can't believe that she met Julian Reyes and didn't call him over. June says that it happened all so fast, and she still isn't sure about Julian's motives. But don't we, though? Jack knows. He says all you have to do is look in a mirror. June is being modest. Well, maybe 10 years ago. But this party is huge. How will we ever find him? Jack says there are some poker tables over here. Maybe we should check here. Okay, here's the poker table. No, Julian. Okay, we know what Jack really wants. June tells him to sit down, play a few hands, and then she'll go look around for Julian. She tells Jack to just shout me out if you see him. The party was loud and hot and crowded, and June wasn't sure how she was going to find Julian in the midst of all these people. But don't worry, June. You don't have to look for Julian because Julian is looking for you. There he is. June, so glad you came. I was hoping you'd make it. Well, duh, Julian. She's looking for her kidnapped niece, and you have the only information. And that, of course, is the first thing out of June's mouth. Have you learned anything about my niece? Julian, the player that he seems to be, tells June to pick out a record, and then they can talk and dance at the same time. What? June picks out the first record she can get hold of. Here. Tell me about my niece. It Had to Be You was the album. Julian says, you see, this is nice. Now, when you mentioned your niece earlier, I knew I had seen her somewhere at one of my hotels. June is a little miffed. Why didn't you tell me this hours ago? Julian told her that he couldn't be sure, so he sent out a private investigator to verify. The private investigator came back with these pictures. June verifies that that's them and asks, where are they now? Julian tells her that these pictures were taken in the lobby of one of his hotels, the Grand. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go. No way is he keeping my niece. So Julian leaves all of these drunken people in his house and takes June to the Grand Hotel. We're at the hotel. June wants to be sure that this is the correct room. Julian says, claro, but they've already checked out. Well, June, clue finder extraordinaire, says, no, there's something here, and I'm gonna find it. Julian says, that's fine. I told the staff to leave this room untouched. June found a boat rental contract, a bill for a gas station, and photos from the private investigator of the hideout. With those things, she deduced the whereabouts of Sam's hideout. I'm curious, though, if the investigator had a photo of the hideout, why not just tell us where the hideout is? But anyway, we're lucky that June is such a good sleuth. Julian knows about this place. He says it's pretty secluded. June wants to go there right now, but Julian thinks that they should wait because it's too dark. We can take my boat in the morning, he says. June reluctantly agrees. She says, okay, I'll tell Jack. Yeah, where even is Jack? We left him at the poker tables. He's in his element. He's fine. It doesn't look like Virginia's fine, though. We're going to have to get to her fast. And there's Sam all exasperated. I don't really think he's thought this all the way through. We ride at dawn. Will this trio find Virginia safe and sound? Will Sam be caught or get away scot-free? And when all is said and done, will Julian get what he wants? Find out in our next episode. And as always, thanks for watching. Keep watching if you want to read the story without commentary. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that we don't lose each other. And until we meet again, sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey.